guess I could always use that one. Good morning, everybody. Hey, what's up?
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Kev, what's up? He's a YouTube guy. Hey, Kev on YouTube. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Twitch people. It's always good to see you guys. I want all of you in the chat room to take a small second to congratulate the best NFC South football team you could ever find. Our Atlanta, I'm giving them to you guys too. Our Atlanta Falcons. Woo, boy, we're hot like fire. Aaliyah.
Man, that
Oh, we're stinky.
there was a sweet bet at the beginning of the year
So
that the Falcons would win that division.
Everybody
that
shit
good.
on us for
Although it's a long year and
yeah. We're shit. We're
but-
terrible, but it's just fun. I will say that it's more fun having a team that's shit play better than it is having a team like this is more fun than the year we went to the Super Bowl for me. This is straight fun.
Well, yeah, because
So much fun.
everybody counted them out.
No one
Yeah.
cares. I'm just watching. We laugh and watching Matt Ryan. I'm sorry, I have to bring it up again, but Andrea now she loves watching and no Matt Ryan and the Colts still lost. Oh, she loved it.
My God, I bet on the Colts too, and Washington comes back and throw. Oh my God,
It was. I know. I didn't know you bet on that game.
I just needed the win, and I was like,
My wife is something. She's so sweet, but she'll pick every once in a while. There'll be one person, and she'll just root for them to fail. And I'm like, man, that makes you super evil. I feel like. What do you want to talk about here, buddy? The world is yours. The world is your oyster. We can talk about anything you want. It's just us. This is like old times. Just two guys sitting in a room.
See, I like it better when they speculate the team's going to tank this year, and then like the Dolphins did when they got Tua, where the first game they just get annihilated 41-0, and then you're like, all right, because now I know what to expect.
Right.
I'm like, all right, here it is.
I'm not getting
No, I
any
know,
of
I
that.
know.
No. I don't know what's happening because there's another play
Number
here.
one in your division.
Well, they could throw Ritter in, right? What if they decide to put Ritter in? And what if he has a little zappy magic and he starts doing pretty good?
No.
Right? And then it's a fun season for me. I'm having a good time.
That zappy magic.
It only lasted for two
but
drives.
that's also Bill Belichick. It has nothing to do with you can put any quarterback in there.
Oyster.
I mean, you could make an argument that Cam Newton played pretty well for a little bit with Belichick. You know what I'm saying? Like
I rooted for that to work.
He knows.
I rooted for that to work.
So he's good.
All right. What do you want to do here? Because it's Halloween and
I'll talk.
I
about
wrote down a couple of little things, but I want to save most of my stuff for the BDM show.
Yeah, I'll talk about the Sanford Air Show.
Okay. Awesome. Somehow I feel like I read your wife's Facebook post. I'm like, we should call her.
Well, yeah, she's in jury duty. I'll talk about that too.
I'm sorry. Here we go.
Jury duty.
In 3, 2.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time. All right.
I like you got a flight suit on. You have like a military and Air Force hat on. You're looking good, man.
A couple things.
Okay, please.
The Van family had a rough weekend this weekend.
You got everybody gambling now?
No,
that's what it sounds like.
No.
We had a
That's
rough
always
weekend.
no.
You
That's
always come in and you're like, I had a rough weekend. I'm like, oh, what'd you? I lost everything.
No. That losing and gambling, I'm used to that. That's fine. But,
so what happened? It's
well,
like
Tommy's sick.
Oh, God.
He's got a what looks to be strep throat.
Oh my God.
And he's had a fever all weekend.
Oh, poor dude.
So anyway, I'll tell you about our Saturday because this weekend was going to be chill.
Yeah.
Like there was.
You guys, I'm envious of I'm kind of locked in town because of dance, and since Andrea and Maisie have committed to that, there's nothing for me to do. I work alone a lot, and I'm jealous of the fact that you guys go on adventures. You do a lot of adventures. It's good.
Yeah. I like a good adventure. Now, the problem with adventures or doing anything is that it is a gamble.
Well, you scared me a little bit because I think I texted you that morning, and I'm like, what are the vans up to? You know, and you fired back, we're going to the air show. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, kind of
didn't strike you as an air show man. I went 2 years ago, but I just went down and sat in somebody's yard and drank beer and smoked weed. And
now, I've never been to an air show. I've seen air shows like at the beach when I was young, like in South Beach and stuff, but never been to the actual like festivities they produce.
What is the appeal of the air show? You're getting to see the military vehicles, right? That's the appeal of the air show?
Well, the stunt planes and jets and things you'll see flying around.
But I'm saying, like, don't they normally have like a Chinook? And don't they have
they have the Chinook.
The Chinook? You have to say it like that. Chinook?
They got the big ass C-130. They put tanks in the back. You get to go around. You let your kids
walk around. Hey, take a picture with it. Please give a thumbs up. Look like the Santas.
And where's my Miller Lite?
Yeah.
By the way, I'm all right. I'm going out with the because I did have a conversation with someone about if the Sanford Air Show possibly could advertise with us at one time. This will kill all opportunities.
Speak from your core, sir.
I will just tell the truth.
Speak from your core.
All they had was Corona Light. Corona Light.
Wait a minute.
At the goddamn military air show, where's the...
Wait, it was sponsored by Corona Light?
I don't know. That's all the beer they had.
No, sir. No, sir.
They had warm Corona Light.
No, they did not.
That's the only option.
So wait, you walked in. Okay, just hold on. Let's
Okay,
paint the picture. Slow down.
I'll go back to the beginning.
You went 0 to Corona in like 2 seconds. Okay, deep breath.
By the way,
he's doing it again. Oh, no.
Didn't DeSantis come in and be like, you can't just have Corona
Isn't
Light?
he supposed to ship the Corona Light to Martha's Vineyard? He's supposed to send them to Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah, Corona. So anyway,
you blew tears out of my eyes.
So
I don't believe that for a second. You just found the one Mexican beer tent.
Well, okay, I'll
start from the beginning.
I'm gonna go full on bitching about this whole thing.
Slow down,
because they were miserable.
Wait a minute, we are loved by. We have a home in Sanford. We have the Air T&D in Sanford. We are Sanford.
But it doesn't do with Sanford. It's the airport. It's not like Sanford's airport has a bunch of awesome breweries around it. You fly into a brewery. It's just an airport. Every airport's the same.
So what happened?
Okay, so on Friday, we didn't even plan on doing this, but on Friday night.
And you guys, sorry, but you have never, you and Crystal and your children are not, I don't look at you and go, they're air show people.
No, well, I don't even know what that means. And we just, we were sitting on Friday, and then Crystal asked me, and this was Friday night. I think the boys are already gone to sleep or whatever. Probably not, since it's Friday. They stay up at 10:30. So we were like, what are we going to do this weekend? Let's make it a chill weekend, right?
Yeah.
But we can't just chill. The vans can't just do
chill.
nothing.
We need some high-powered military artillery.
The problem is with chilling at the house, all the boys want to do is play on their iPads
just
all
say
day.
you're not allowed to, and then it's a tough it out Saturday.
Well, yeah, but then they're like, well, now we're bored because you've made us addicted to these things. Or you let us get addicted. It's like, you can't get that mad.
Well, there is an answer, but you don't want that. Because I'll tell you what the answer to the iPad is. The answer to the iPad is puppy. Puppy trumps iPad all day long, but I know you don't want that either.
No,
I understand, but I'm just saying there is an answer.
Yeah,
Maisie hasn't touched her iPad in 3 weeks, but I've only had the puppy for 3 weeks. I'm just saying there's an answer.
Yeah,
it's not one you want. Doo-doo and pee-pee. I almost said everywhere.
At least the iPad doesn't doo-doo. And the iPad.
It does in your eyes. Right into your brain it doo-doos.
Mainly the puppy will then the dog will cause me not to be able to go and do these adventures in the future.
Exactly. It's an adventure killer.
Inevitably, they'll be like, don't have a dog sitter. We got to bring this dog, but the dog's not trained enough to be on the boat.
You got to adopt one of those old wart dogs. Anyway.
So back to air show. Yeah. So on Saturday, and then Crystal's like.
There's going to be food trucks out there. It's basically anything now is an opportunity for food trucks, right? That's what I would think. If Crystal told me, like, hey, we're going to the air show, I'd be like, oh, well, at its least, it's a food truck.
Well, no. There's no food truck.
No?
The air show is its own entity, and the fact that this thing travels.
There's no carnival attached to it in any way? There's no midway?
It travels with its own vendor and its own thing, but it's all the air shows. They don't bring it outside.
Okay,
right?
gotcha.
Which I don't know anything about it. I just, this is the first one I've ever been to.
Yeah. I've never officially been. I always sat in someone's grass.
Exactly, yeah. Which I saw a bunch of people doing.
It's free.
And wait, okay, speaking of free, wait until you hear how much it costs.
I'm not helping.
So Crystal's
I'm just
like,
asking questions.
let's, we don't want to just do nothing. She's like, let's go take the boys to the air show.
Well,
right?
that's her worst nightmare, right? Is doing nothing. I mean, she don't want to do that.
Well, I don't like doing nothing because I'll just go out and start working on my plant.
Gotcha.
I can't do nothing. I can't just sit and relax. I have to work or we have to be doing an adventure. I can't just hang out.
Gotcha.
Because I'm insane.
That's fair.
I have a mental disorder.
It's fine.
So that's what Crystal tells me, which I'm like, I think you're right. So I'm like, all right, air show. I'm thinking like, yeah, the boys will it'll be a nice day tomorrow. It's not supposed to rain. We'll go out there, watch some jets fly around. They like Top Gun, right?
Yeah,
and
there you go.
Jets.
They like the jets.
So anyway, so Crystal goes online and then she's like, all right, we can get general admission, but for like $10 more a ticket, we can get our own square on the VIP lawn, right? Or that's what she described.
You're buying a part of the air show?
No,
You're
no,
investing in the air show.
They give you a square.
How big is your square?
10 by 12.
Oh.
And then you're allowed to bring up to 4 people. Above that, you pay for whatever. You bring your chairs, your blanket, and you sit down in your square and you watch
your square
and watch the air. So,
you're in the square, they're in the air.
So I'm thinking, all right, whatever. Like before she even tells me.
Remy, who will be on the show a little bit later, joining us from the chat room, says air shows are dope as F. There it is. There it is.
That is what I like to call a clue.
And there's your first clue. If you're playing at home, clue number 1 was what Remy said.
So I'm like, all right, I'm thinking,
how much for a square? You're Big Daddy Sanford. You got a house in Sanford. You're Sanford. I did Big Daddy Sanford.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought this up.
Sanford, Tom and Danford.
In my mind, I'm like, all right, air show. I'm thinking it's some sort of I think it's something tied into propaganda for the military recruiting. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, if it isn't, it should be, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not
there's
doing
ROTC tent, they
gotta have them out there, buzz cuts, and they're standing there, and they're giving out keychains and squish balls.
Yeah, it's like cigarettes. You got to get them early.
You got
so these
you
generations.
show them a couple Janooks, and you show them a couple, I don't know what they got. F-16s, F-14,
I don't know.
Tomcats.
I don't know this to be true, but I imagine the military uses as a way to recruit young kids.
You get the Thunderbirds, the Blue Angels flying by.
It's all advertising. I know advertising. I'm Tom Van.
They should do that. If they don't do that, they're missing the boat. Anyway.
So I'm like, well, okay, well, how much is it? Probably like $8 entry fee or whatever, then another $2. So I'm doing the math.
I've been to a hot air balloon festival. They're like, and entry is $2. So I'm like, oh, thank you.
I'm like, $10 a person for the little square, and then maybe a certain portion goes to
like
military
pet rescue by Judy,
or military veterans, or
wounded warrior, wounded warrior.
Yeah. So you added $10 on that. So I'm looking we're gonna spend $40-$50 for a square, right? That's what I'm thinking.
10 by 12.
And then Crystal's like, all right, and going to checkout, and $205. $200.
Wow. You could have gone to Disney.
No, you can't. Which, by the way,
one person can go to Disney and do it up big. You could do it up pretty big for $200.
We give it to Max. Max,
Max, you get one park. It's a one park ticket. I'm sorry, you can't go to all the parks. You get one park and you get a lot of food.
And by the way, this is why you should never. And I don't know why I don't learn my lesson. Never go to someone and be like, "Hey, I got you a surprise." Start guessing it.
Oh, I've stopped doing that with the kids. Yeah,
because they will guess something better than the actual surprise.
Yeah.
Which
boys, we got you something. Unlimited video game? No.
Which we said, hey, we got a surprise. We're going this is Saturday morning. We're going somewhere, and they're like, Disney World?
Yeah, of course.
We
haven't been back in years. We're ready now.
Which we're like, no, the air show in Sanford.
Yeah.
They're like,
it's like a garbage dump in the sky.
So then we're like, we're going to the air show. They didn't even want to go. They're like, can we just play video games all day? Like they're trying to bribe me. They're like, you can go outside and play with your plants all day long and get drunk and watch football. And then I'm like, no, we're going to the air show to be miserable.
Well, wait a minute. Why'd you do that?
What?
You could have saved the whole family.
No.
You had to put your foot down, but you don't like doing it. You could have saved the family by saying, you know what? Gotta stay here, do my plants and drink.
No, because Chris already bought the tickets from last night, $200, and there's no refund. What are you going to do? The air show doesn't give a refund.
Do they give you a free Trumpy bear with it?
Also, if they just sit home and play video games, we got to go do things. That's what, in my mind, I'm like, we have to get out there and do stuff and live our lives. You can't just, you're addicted to these stupid screens, and all you don't want to do is play Roblox and watch YouTube all day. We're not doing that. We're going to go to the air show.
See something real vehicles. Yeah, okay.
So we drive to the air show.
Drop by the T&D to charge the Ring doorbell, and
first we go to IHOP.
Why'd you go there?
Well, because I figured if we're going.
Do you have your concealed carry? I always bring when I go. Maisie loves IHOP. Like Maisie only. We only eat at dangerous places.
Yeah.
At IHOP, Hooters.
Taco Bell.
Yeah, Taco Bell. B and Maisie's three favorite restaurants in this order are Taco Bell, number 1. Number 2 is Hooters. Number 3 is IHOP. I swear to God, that's true. That's absolutely true. Andrea's in the chat room. Ask her.
I figured since we were going to the Sanford Air Show, we'd started off with a good belly full of diarrhea at IHOP. And so,
do they have the Hobbit stuff still going on?
IHOP has, I don't know if it's Corona or just the general atmosphere.
There's never anybody in there.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, it was packed, but...
God, the one we go to, there's just one lady. She cooks, serves, cleans, she does everything.
It was slam-packed. And everybody was mad, including the staff, which obviously they were understaffed like every other place.
Yeah.
But IHOP is obviously having a bigger problem than most because
it's hard too.
So
very hard work.
And the clientele that are eating at IHOP wasn't having it. They are not understanding. So they're yelling. The staff is yelling. Everybody's mad and diarrhea.
So patrons mad, staff mad, diarrhea. Okay.
So then we drive to the air show and. So I'm thinking, all right, and now Tommy is complaining that he doesn't feel good. All right, so
he just ate a whole Rudy Tooty fresh and fruity breakfast with double bacon.
He wouldn't eat his breakfast, and it's weird pancakes, all this stuff just sugar, but he wouldn't eat. He's like, I don't feel good, and then so he felt his head. He was like, he feels kind of hot, but it's hot outside, so whatever. I think we get him some children's Advil or whatever, and we're like, oh, you'll tough it out.
As soon as we get you out there in the sun and put that sunscreen that makes your cheeks burst into flames, we got to rub that all over your face, and they bake you in the sun all day.
It's a nice end of October weekend in Florida. Hot. Oh my God,
so hot.
And then you know what we should do? Stand in a field.
Dude, it was so hard. I backed my car out, and Stu, my neighbor, he backed his car out. We were gonna wash our cars, and I looked at him, and it was so hot outside. I go, I'm not doing this, and we just put him back in the garage. I'm like, I'm not doing it.
So we drive to the air show, and the first clue to this was going to be a disaster of a day was how long the cones they set out, like the apparent line. Now, we showed up at noon. Like later, I guess it starts at 10:30.
Oh, man, you should have gotten there first for the kickoff.
Well, no, we were...
Kickoff party with the Blue Angels.
We knew. We were like, the Blue Angels were at 2, or whatever the hell they were.
The Thunderbirds.
Thunderbirds were at 2, so we were like, let's show up at noon. We'll give it a solid 2 hours, see the Thunderbirds as we walk out.
Get the hell out of there.
So we knew at least better than to show up early, but the queue to the line, I was like, my God, how big was the line getting in here? How many people are going to this thing? When we showed up to the parking, right, I'm not joking, there was a mass of cars that I've only seen at the most busiest night of the Central Florida Fair. Like I'm talking about what
a super theme park line.
What you see, but we skipped the line. We just went to park.
Well, you had the VIP squares.
Well, no, that doesn't come with the parking. That comes with the a biker gang parking.
It's a Hell's Angels, sir. It's not. You can't just call them a biker gang. It's a Hell's. Wait, is it the Hell's Angels? I think it's no. It might be the Warlocks.
It wasn't the Hell's Angels. It was some sort of
fight at the air show breaks out. They're like stabbing old ladies and stuff.
Which they must volunteer. How does that work when the biker gang is a parking attendant?
It's free security.
And I say biker gang is a club. It's a biker club. Yeah. I don't know. Whatever. They have vests. They dress like a biker gang.
They have vests, flags, and vests.
So they park you, and then I'm like, all right, well. This is not a good
You must
sign.
be here for VIP.
Because we parked pretty far, and I don't see any plane anywhere. So
Yeah, they're in the sky, though.
Well, I imagine that I don't see a tent or like how far do we have to walk, right? And by the way, now because we have a square, I have 4 camping chairs, a camping
You need a
blanket.
wagon. You need a wagon.
Oh, yeah. I see other old men.
Did you bring a wagon?
No
I
wagon.
always bring my wagon, man.
I forgot to bring a wagon.
Oh, dude.
But also, I don't like I'll bring a wagon to the beach, but other than that, I like to carry my stuff because I want to show everybody I'm strong.
Your strength, I understand. Question from the chat room. It's from my wife.
Okay.
Are you outwardly complaining so your boy's here?
No, I don't complain.
Yeah, he doesn't complain. That would be me, Andrea.
Yeah,
You're channeling what I would do. I would be
I never
crapping on
complain.
this.
I keep my mouth shut.
I would be crapping on this so much walking with pulling my wagon that Andrea would get frustrated and go, well, let's just leave. And then Maisie would look at me and we get thumbs up and then we go home.
No. I don't complain in front of my sons because I don't want them to be
That's
complainers.
good. See, you're a good dad.
I
Good
just
dad.
sit there but
inside your brain, you're complaining, right?
oh,
Okay.
inside my brain, I mean,
Yeah. Nothing but complaints?
I start going through. Well, first I start imagining
Is
myself.
Crystal complaining? That's another question.
No, because it's her idea. So she is.
So no complaining. You guys are all 4
Yeah,
going through the
yeah.
motions,
But-
silently going through the motions.
Yeah.
I like this. I
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this. This is grit, by the way.
Now we're all miserable.
Okay.
Which,
Especially Tommy. Poor
Yeah,
guy. He
yeah,
didn't even
yeah,
get to eat
yeah,
his
yeah.
greasy diarrhea breakfast.
Yeah. By the way, he full on strep throat.
God.
His temperature was 104 for hours.
Well, that's because you left him in the field.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I'm
Things get hot. You know how they make sun tea?
Yeah,
you
yeah,
put tea bags in the sun for hours.
So I have two camping chairs on each shoulder. I have a blanket, and then Crystal's got a bag.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're like a
it's-
Sherpa. You got it all piled up.
And I just start head down, like.
You didn't bring your one wheel. Should have brought your one wheel.
No, not allowed. They don't, lots of things. You can't even
Right.
bring in your own.
You don't bring in that
Food and
liberal
drink.
floating device. Get that out of here.
You can't. They don't let you bring in your own food or drink.
No
you can
cooler?
you can bring in 8 ounces of water or whatever the hell.
8
it is.
ounces of water, keep you alive.
And-
you can bring in a canteen.
And so I'm not joking when I say that it was 5 football fields. I mean, maybe more. It
You
had.
had to walk
1,000
Dude,
yards?
That's too far.
I'm
That's
not-
way too far.
We walked. I'm not joking. 1,200 yards, like from the parking lot through like this field, like through it. Like, by the way,
Why
Tommy's
did you
got
park so far away?
That's the only parking. This is in a GD airport, so that you have to park far, and then
They don't have any trams?
You got to walk onto the actual
Tarmac?
runways,
Yeah.
like the Sanford tarmacs. So then we walk 1,200 yards, and then finally to a tent, the entrance, right? And then from the entrance tent,
Other people in the chat room said they made the same walk.
another 1,000
Yeah.
yards to the squares, right? And I don't usually I can tough it out. I'm I work out 2 days a week. I had to take multiple. I had to put the stuff down. My hands were so numb. I dropped the stuff.
I bet it hurt.
Now, while I'm walking to the squares, I see a bunch of people just set up, and brilliant people, by the way, set up in
The best people, the greatest people.
in the shade of the military vehicles that were parked
yeah,
there.
you got to get behind that Chinook. Run for the Chinook boys.
They set up their chairs and everything in the shadow of the damn
in the
C-130s.
shadow,
or something,
of the
whatever.
fuselage.
Yeah,
Get
yeah,
into the
yeah.
shadow of the fuselage.
And so I'm watching all these people in the shadows of the Chinooks, and then all I'm staring at is just
Are you delirious?
a barren wasteland of fields.
No trees.
Where not one tree.
I didn't think about that. Planes hate trees.
Where the sun is just and this is noon, by the way, so it's
my
just
God, it's
overhead
baking you.
baking us crazy.
I was outside at noon. It was gross.
So we get to the 12 by 12 squares.
Does it have your
and,
name? Is there any
no, it's just-
welcome van family?
It's just
or-
K26 or
Oh,
whatever.
K26.
Endless, and I'm not joking. I'm looking. Imagine 5 football fields of squares that everybody's just sitting in.
How did you pick ticket, or they just randomized it?
They give you buy it when they give you the tickets. They give the K26. You walk there. We set up. I'm sweating, by the way.
Yeah.
I set up everything, and then I'm like, I'm gonna go get a beer because I'm miserable. I don't tell you this, but in my mind, I'm like, I'm gonna go get a cold beer.
You're like, we're done. I'm gonna go get a beer.
Walk up. They're like
Warm Corona Light.
We got warm Corona Light. If you give it 5 minutes, it'll be cold. And then I'm like, no, thank you. I get some lemon slushies for the boys. I go there. By the way, they are under like umbrellas. Thank God Crystal brought 2 umbrellas.
Yeah.
Like just handheld rain umbrellas.
Yeah.
To get them.
So they look like goth kids out in the field.
I am just baking in the sun, sitting there baking in the sun. Now, when the first jet takes off, Max, like we did bring headphones.
Good. Because they can get loud.
And Max has like regular kids like headphones that you or
Noise
earmuffs.
canceling
No, just like earmuffs you would wear to shoot a gun. Like I don't know what you call it, like airboat earmuffs. And he's wearing those. And when the first like F-18 or whatever the hell flies by, Max grabs it. He's like, yeah! Like, he's holding the outside of his earmuffs. And then I'm like, what? By the way, I don't have any ear protection. And then when the first one came by, it just, I'm like, you got to let it blow your ears out so you just hear ringing.
Yeah, you got to let the damage happen.
And so Max's ears, I guess. And so we had to put, like, anyway, loud. Tommy is miserable fever at this point.
Yeah.
Under
he's
umbrella,
roasting in the sun. Max has the sound. Now, both of you guys are quiet. Or are you talking to each other?
Well, we're trying to watch the
Are you small talk? You're like, oh, that's nice. Look at that Chinook. Oh, that's a great looking Chinook.
No, well, the announcer is like, we've got Dan Barnstormer, like you flying the 2
a 1903 Lux Vassenberg 100.
And he's flying. He does the move. Well, now
the next move has never been accomplished before. It's the triple Lindy.
I realize air show tricks are a lot like jet ski tricks in the fact, and I'm not talking about stand-up jet ski where you could do a double backflip. I'm talking about like a wave runner where all you got is basically a 360, 180, like because all like the planes.
They got any wing walkers out there? What about the ladies that get on the wings?
No wing walker. Now we left our. I'll tell you that all day, but they fly up and then it goes. He's like, oh, he's doing the
stall.
He's doing the stall corkscrew. And he's like, no, and he's flying up and down. Now I'm looking at it. I'm like, all right.
Did you at least get one? That's cool for the boys, or were they like, yeah, anything at all? Well, any needle moving, or video games just have ruined the air show?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up.
Because you can fly the plane on the video game.
Yeah. And
it looks like an air show.
I don't know if they're that impressed by air shows. If this now, we could ask the chat room, and if someone could call in.
This kind of goes back to last week when we were talking about how our kids are not impressed by candy because they get it all the time.
Yeah.
Video games have ruined the air show, maybe.
I don't think, like, because I kept telling them, and they'd be like, whoa. I think they were just saying, whoa, like,
or maybe Max's ears hurt so bad he's like, whoa.
Well, when
it hurts.
Like, and then the jets come out, and then the jet will fly around. But they were more like affected by as it came by the loud noise,
pressure,
because it's loud.
Yeah,
right? Some jet comes back, and so they'll fly around. They go up and they'll fly slow. But it seems like they're generally not that like overly impressed or enthused about it.
Yeah.
In fact, I looked over a couple times and not even looking
asleep.
At it. Not asleep. But Tommy's just sitting.
Well, Tommy's having a fever dream. He's looking at. He sees Lizzo dancing in a field nude or something. He's hallucinating at this point. Because 105?
I will say that Tommy has a fever. He doesn't want to sit in a hot field in the air show. And Max, he's like, all right, we could have probably just parked. Or like my original plan was
stayed in the car and just watch from the car.
Take the boat out to Lake Monroe.
That's a good idea.
But it's still no wake zone in Lake Monroe and all of St. John's because of the flooding or whatever.
Right.
So you can't. You can just putt out there and sit there and watch it.
Non-celebrities, I feel like. I think you could we own property there. We drive around.
So we sat there for half an hour and then decided to call it. So that we pack up everything.
But I know you guys hate that because isn't that like a defeat?
No, it's a defeat.
Now, do you?
And not only a defeat, but a mistake.
But you're not like me.
To the tune of $200.
Yeah,
and a miserable time.
Don't worry about that. I'm just wondering, like for me, I keep track of the defeats. And then I will, at that point, especially if it was not my idea, I will then like chirp picture
Oh, okay.
how, of course, this was a defeat because this was a goddamn dumb idea. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
You won't do that.
No,
You'll
no,
stay
no.
silent,
Yeah,
and that's
yeah.
why you're smarter.
Well, because
in some ways.
Also, I don't want to not do because I could talk myself out of everything.
Everything, right?
And then you do nothing, and then you die. Then you say I've done nothing. So it's worth it for me for the gamble because every once in a while it's an amazing time, and I'm like, man, I thought this was going to be bad, and it was good, and then so I realized.
Was anybody out there seemingly having a good time? Did you see other kids when Dan Barnstormer does the loopy loop? There was
No.
Any clapping? Anything?
People were clapping and stuff, and I'm sure, like, if your kid is into, like, planes and things like that, or maybe older, or I don't know, it just seems like for Tommy and Max, they weren't that impressed by it. Now, I did see people, like, when we were driving out of there, like, they were just standing in their front yard or sitting on the roof in Sanford, and those people look like they were having a great time because they were like, hey, this is happening in front of my house. I'm just sitting on my roof looking at some jets. And so that's cool. But when you actually go there and then, like, you pay the $200 for the square and you're sitting there with your kids not even interested in it.
And that's pricey, I think, man. Wowie wooey, that's expensive.
Well, I'm sure regular general admission was $10 more a ticket for the square. Although, it did seem
minus
like
$40. It's still $160, man, to get in that place.
It's not like we're watching the ball where people ride dirt bikes on, where a closed seat is advantageous to the experience. The jets were flying. The people that were sitting 10,000 yards away were getting basically the same thing that the square. I mean, they're flying a huge distance. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see them. It's like you don't have to buy the damn square.
Yeah.
Like, it's not really like front row at an air show is that much better. Although I did see the planes kind of like try to do their tricks in front of the square, but it's like
get closer to the square.
You can see them like anywhere in the damn field, right?
I like that.
In fact,
that they tried.
In fact, when we got back to the parking lot and we're sitting in the AC, in which my sons were like, Tommy is at this time pale white, just dying, right? And we're sitting there AC. We were watching the not the Blue Angels, but there were the other Thunderbirds from our car in the AC, and I'm like, oh, it's pretty cool. Like, we could have just parked here and watched the whole show.
That's true.
And then so anyway.
Hey, well, at least you tried something. Is my point.
You win some, you lose some. I agree, and the fact that if I didn't try, I would have been mad that we were too lazy to at least give it a try or whatever. But now we know, and we made a pact ever since then. We're like, all right, there's two things that the fans don't like. And we'll scratch any activity if they check any of these boxes. We're like, in a field or hot. And especially if it's both, we are out.
You got to check them out.
So we could be in a field, nice weather, fine.
Oh, pumpkin patch in a field? Fantastic. What time is it? Oh, it's December, November? Yeah, all right.
Yeah. If nice outside, whatever, that's fine. But if it's in a field and hot and crowded, we are no-go. And we got to remind ourselves that don't do anything in a field, hot, crowded.
I love it.
Anyway, I'm sure other people had a great time. And if you enjoy,
I'd like to hear from you. If you had a good time and you have a counterpoint of the way Tom should have done it, you probably could have gone over to Tim's house and just sat in his backyard.
Well,
like I did and watch it because he just had a circle and he lives next to the airport, so we just looked straight up and we got everything.
Yeah. If you watch it from your backyard or watch it, you don't have to pay
admission. But you got to know somebody
or,
close.
Yeah, exactly. Or like Lake Monroe, I'm pretty sure. I mean, anywhere around Sanford. I saw people.
I didn't know that was still a no-wake zone. That's sad. I feel bad that the flooding is. I know parts of DeLand are just now still getting back to. Back to good.
Apparently, most of the river and Lake Monroe, at least I talked to Boat Tree about it, it's still no wake because it's still too high and you flood people's stuff if you, driving out there with a wake.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You want to take a quick break?
Yeah, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back with more corporate time. Sorry, I went
what's up? No, we're good.
Long.
What's
up, dude?
What's up, Remy? How are you doing, buddy? Come on in.
Hi, guys. Can I grab a drink?
Yeah,
please.
Help yourself with whatever.
Make yourself at home.
How long do we go? Sorry.
We only need 10 more.
Okay.
That was a good story. That'll be Tuesday. We didn't have anything for Tuesday, right?
Yeah, you could just do Tuesday 3.
Yeah, we didn't have anything.
So I did not dress up as Austin Powers. I dressed up somebody you guys should recognize.
No, you're fine.
All right.
You dressed up. I love it. How you been, man?
Good,
You been
man.
well?
Yeah, doing great.
Good.
I got some things I gotta talk about since I'm on here with you guys today. Plus, I brought you guys a little gift, although Sam is not here. So.
All right. Well, I guess we could do this for Tuesday 1.
Do this for what?
Tuesday 1.
Tuesday
yeah,
1?
we
Okay,
could do.
cool.
Wife and I saw Hamilton yesterday.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
You were what, last night?
We saw the matinee for the show.
Oh, right on. Andrea went last night. Yeah. Let me turn your mic on.
But something happened. We were at the at Hamilton.
Hold on, don't ruin it.
Oh,
Don't
wait.
ruin it. Hold on a second. Would you poop your pants?
No.
Okay, hold on. I pooped my pants in Hamilton.
Definitely not gonna. I am definitely.
Alexander Hamilton. Alexander Hamilton. You get Andrea went to see wig wrapping last night.
How was that?
She loved it.
Nice.
It is impressive that someone
Unbelievable.
wrote that.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
I'm looking at your costume now. Hold on. What were you saying, Remy?
Did he just write it by himself, or did he have a team of people like him and his? Is it
don't
just
know.
him?
He probably had a team, writing, all that stuff out.
Are you telling me because you know Remy? I
No,
used to have another
he's
person.
chirping. He's butlering you.
Yeah.
I got sources.
You know? No, you don't.
He absolutely has a team of people, and then you look it up, and it's like Lin-Manuel wrote this alone in an apartment by
Yeah,
himself.
I think he did, because if he wrote it with a team, he would credit the team of people.
My wife is saying it's just him. He based it off of a book, but he wrote it.
Yeah.
Would you like to begin? This is Tuesday 1 with Remy. Can you hear okay? You're good?
Yeah, we're good.
Awesome,
We're good.
awesome.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. And 3, 2.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Did you know that you can sign up for more Tom and Dan shows and become a BDM member at tomanddan.com? We'd love for you to do it. tomanddan.com/registration. If you jump in there, we've got a love meter. You can decide to give us $2.95 a month or all the way up to $10.95 a month if you'd like to help out the show. And it is event season. We're starting to roll out everything. In fact, I know you've been banging your head against the computer. We have our Bad at Business Beer Fest coming up on November 18th. And 19th. Why do I always say 18th? November 19th. And it's going to be amazing. I cannot wait for it. 40-plus different breweries, probably more than that now.
It's free.
It's
and
free.
We will say that we start handing out the sample cups at noon. So if you want to guarantee yourself a sample cup. Now, in the past, we haven't handed them all out, like every single one of them. So you should be safe.
Yeah.
But
that's the goal. We're going to slam this thing this year.
If you show up at 2 and we don't have any more sample cups, I apologize, but we started hand them out at noon. We were telling everybody, like, get there at noon, grab a sample cup, put it in your pocket, a wristband, obviously, you have
And
to be
get
over
ready to go.
21, and then go out and hang out in Sanford, and then come back at 2. That's when we're going to start all the pouring and all the sample pouring. That's when the band starts, Oklahoma Stackhouse.
Yeah, full band, all the food trucks and vendors you can think of, and it's right there in historic downtown Sanford, Florida. If you've never been, you're going to love it. It's the Bad at Business Beer Fest. Find the event page on Facebook. Just search Bad at Business Beer Fest 2022.
I talked to Jordan from Cholo Dogs.
Oh, nice. I love Jordan.
He's bringing his...
He was dressed like a hot dog yesterday. I saw it.
Really?
Yeah.
He's bringing his Cholo Dogs card out to our Bad at Business Beer Fest.
Awesome.
And it's a brand new one, he said, this year. So we're going to have that, food trucks, and a bunch of other stuff. Hopefully, like Gannon will come out there with his fire truck, his glass-blowing fire truck.
Yeah, I forgot he has that.
So, and again, completely free. And then we have the Sanford Sofa races the next day, on November 20th. and you can get VIP tickets to that soon. I know I got Central 28's producing a Sofa and Suds beer again.
Yes, I love their beer.
Anyway, that's going to be the Sanford weekend, the Purge weekend.
With us on the show, he asked to come in momentarily. We haven't heard from him.
I know, yeah.
In a minute.
I'm starting to believe, Sam, now, full disclosure.
Our producer, Sam, yeah.
She is still out. This is recorded on Monday and Halloween.
Yeah.
And she is still at Fest in Gainesville.
Yeah.
So, but
the Gainesville Punk Rock Festival of no other.
I saw Remy on the schedule for
Yes.
today, and then I noticed that, Sam's out
Conveniently
again.
always out.
Yeah.
Conveniently always
and
out.
then I feel like there's a bullying here. Like, is she getting me back for years of bumbling?
I mean, does it bother you, Remy, that every time you book, and you're booking with her, so she knows you're on the calendar, does it bother you to know that Sam has, conveniently is missing, or would you just say it's a coincidence?
Man, you know what? I'm upset that Sam isn't here, man. I mean, I miss the vibe when I'm inside the Tom and Dan studio. I am upset because I miss seeing Sam there. Tom's there, Dan's there. I miss having that vibe with you guys.
Yep.
You know,
He misses the vibe.
It just brings out
carrots. I don't know about carrots.
It's just different without Sam being here.
Yeah,
it is. It is a little different.
Yeah.
Smells a little different. It's a boys, kind of a boys' room. We pee with the door open.
Speaking of Fest, I didn't really. You wear costumes the whole weekend of Fest. Do they always?
I don't think you do. I think they do. I think Sam and her husband do because they're fun people and they like to have fun.
But that's not a thing that everybody does.
No, I don't think so.
But is it just this year because it's Halloween weekend?
No, it's been. They did it last year too, and I think it's always the end of October. If I'm.
Gotcha.
I could be wrong on that, but I think that's something that she just does because, again, when she goes to the air show, she's going to,
have fun.
Yeah. She's going full on, she's got the costuming and the wigs and all the stuff. I'm not that guy. If I went to Fest, and I like punk rock music as much as Sam, but I probably would not do. I don't know. I'm pretty fun. It would depend. But I probably wouldn't be as apt to dress up. They treat it like Christmas.
It's an event.
Yeah, I love the fact they go and they just blow it out big.
Do you have fun, Remy?
He dressed up today.
I did.
Yeah,
okay,
no, don't tell us. We have to guess your costume. I'm looking at your costume. It's black pants. You have on what appear to be leather Vans with flash socks.
Yeah, well, it's just I forgot to bring my black socks. I'm like,
Okay, so disregard.
Ignore the socks.
I don't know what he said, but disregard the. I mumbled something. Disregard the flash socks.
Yeah,
they're supposed to be black socks. So it's black shoes, black socks, black pants, white collared shirt with a valet's vest over top of it.
Now I
stand up just a little bit, like a little.
Now
bit.
this is a Halloween costume, Remy.
Yeah,
This,
you kind of look like.
You know what? This is a Halloween costume because I'm dressed up for the occasion.
You look like
so.
Han Slolo. hey, he's go.
I mean, I guess.
It's Dan Rickles. I'm going as Dan Rickles for Halloween. It's Han Slolo. That's pretty good.
I mean, I got something right here that kind of goes with the costume. But...
He's got a gun!
Oh, my God. Sam was right. Sam was right. Oh, my God. I'll be picking my brains up off the wall.
So,
okay, hold on.
Remy, usually with Halloween costumes, there's some sort of obvious thing.
I'm trying to get it.
For instance, when you're dressed like Steve Irwin.
We have a guest in the chat room that you are dressed as pedophile blacksmith.
Whoa!
Show me pedophile blacksmith. I don't know. They're going real fast. So the chat room's fired up. It's a fast chat today.
Thanks a lot, Twitch.
When you're dressed like Steve Irwin, the
Kupo J. That was Kupo J.
The stingray sticking out of your heart then gives it away. You see what I'm saying? Then it's oh, there's Steve Irwin. I feel like you need the stingray for this costume because I have no idea.
McLovin. Everybody's saying McLovin. Is it McLovin?
I got it right here.
Hold on. I love that laugh. Oh, that's fantastic. Well, good job. You stumped us.
So you're dressed as a character from the 2005 smash hit Superbad.
Yeah. Because my wife and I were having this conversation, and she goes, "Are you seriously going to dress up as McLovin for Tom and Dan?" I'm like, well, I mean, I can pull it off. She goes,
now, you were supposed to be Austin Powers.
Powers, yeah.
You were supposed to be Austin Powers. That was my choice. And then you said he defaulted to Doug Funny from the Nickelodeon cartoon Doug.
Oh.
And I'm like, well, you look kind of like Doug Funny. That's not really a costume. But then he settled on McLovin. Pretty good.
Now, Remy,
Yeah.
Does McLovin wear a black tactical style shooter hat? That threw me off. I was like,
A lot of people call that the troubled young high schooler styled hat.
yeah. Is that like
Tactical manifesto hat.
So McLovin doesn't have a hat in the actual movie,
Right.
Which threw me off.
Well, I mean, I wear hats all the time, so it's kind of my comfort
Hat
zone.
guy.
But
but that's you,
yeah.
Remy. When you go dress as a character, you dress as the character.
Yeah.
The character.
No,
McLovin
he's
doesn't wear that.
He's McLovin with a hat.
Okay, so-
He's loving McHats.
So
He's McHat.
now I saw you had the actual McLovin driver's
I
license.
got the ID.
And that's really
Yeah.
the only tell of this actual.
That's the only one.
Yeah.
That's actually that idea. That ID in your hand is the only thing not making you a pedophile blacksmith. Is that ID?
So
That's hilarious.
all right, Remy.
All right, you want to do some voicemails with us and help out on the show today?
Let's do it.
Well, what do you got in the bag here?
All right, that's the gun. That's the gun.
Yeah, so
It's ID first, then gun.
I've been staring
right.
at the bag.
Oh my God, it's your wife's head in the bag.
Yep.
It's still dripping.
Well, guys, I know this is Wednesday, but I do have a second job, and
What?
so I do work for Disney. I am a customer. I work at Rock and Roller Coaster Aerosmith.
Easy for you.
At Hollywood Studios.
But
I got
just
something-
at the rock and roller coaster.
Oh my God, both of you can't say it. It's like, oh my God,
Rock and
it's like
roller
a double
coaster.
It's the waka waka coaster. It's the waka waka. It's the waka taka baka. Oh, the waka waka waka.
I thought you migrated from ride to ride when you worked at.
Oh, you get the. I don't know. How does it work? How do you?
So this is exactly how it works. So
Okay.
if you're stationed at an attraction, that is your home attraction. Now you have the ability to cross train at different attractions in that area. So where I'm at, I'm actually in the gift shop area of Rock and Roller Coaster. My buddy, he does work at the attraction at Rock and Roller Coaster. He can also get cross-trained over at Tower of Terror in case, there's
You can
not...
just say the coaster if you would like.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make it easy for you. You get a little nervous on here. You can't say rock and roller coaster. Tom can't say rock and roller coaster. It's too Tom.
We just can't say it.
Yeah, you just call it the coaster, the attraction. You can say that.
Right.
Now,
Goddamn.
I feel like you misrepresented
Say
it
it
a
to
little
the
bit.
chat room for Christ's sake.
Oh,
She's in the chat
boy.
room?
Coming to get you.
I thought you were at a punk rock show.
Save me, Sam.
So
Save me.
she did this on purpose. So Remy,
Rocka.
when you, I feel like you kind of misrepresented yourself. a little bit.
Oh, boy.
Goddamn.
Damn.
He's in your head now. My God, what if you guys fuse into one person? And it's just me and this new humanoid, half Remy, half Tom.
God damn it.
And then what if you become some sort of sentient walking roller coaster monster?
When you say you worked at the roller coaster, but it's just at the gift shop of the roller coaster,
Yeah.
I feel like it's saying like, I work for the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, what do you
But-
do?
but-
I wash their uniform.
Well, not even that. It's like I, work at like I sell hands, like the foam hands in the parking lot.
Oh, okay.
And now-
Gotcha.
you know
I'm
what
a
I'm saying?
vendor. I'm a
Yeah,
vendor.
yeah.
I'm a pretzel vendor. Like, what do you do? I work for the Miami Dolphins. Like, what's your job? Oh, I'm a beer guy. I got you. Yeah.
So, when you said Miami Dolphins, I thought you worked within the organization.
Right. Like you were like
you saw Tua walk down the hallways every once in a while.
Sports medicine. Yeah.
Like you had a key card and
Yeah.
they let you in, and
That's
then
what I thought he had with the McLovin. At first, I thought it was just like a key card. I was trying to figure out if you were like from the future or something.
But all I'm saying is, like, when you say you work at the Rock and Roller Coaster, I thought you were getting people on the actual coaster, like getting their
Right.
seatbelts on,
Right.
or pushing the button to launch them, that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? So, but
That's
you were
it.
at the gift shop of the Rock and Roller Coaster, which is still, I guess, technically attached
do
to the
you
roller
aim
coaster.
to get to the portion where you have to do the thumb?
I miss doing that because
Did you ever do that?
I did because I worked at Kraken over at SeaWorld.
Oh,
and
I like
we,
Kraken's great.
And we had to do that every single time. That's for the
Yeah.
clearance and stuff. So we
Yeah,
did
you
that.
gotta put the thumb out.
And
Did you used to do that, and then did someone have a
Something
conversation?
happened. Something
Okay,
happened.
yeah.
There was an incident.
Yeah. Because I have a similar story to my pop-up used to tell me about World War II. which is hard for me to say too.
My dad had a favorite joke about. He said, "Did you hear about Oprah Winfrey?" At the airport, they looked in her pants and found 20 pounds of crack. That's a good joke, right?
That was good.
You got to think 80s fat Oprah. You got to go 80s fat Oprah.
Yeah, with a little bit of kind of racist.
A little bit, yeah. It was a little bit.
Just a tad
It's not
bit.
my joke. It's not mine.
Where used to tell me in the war, he used to be the gunner on the ship when they used to have like air raids and they because he was in the Navy in the Pacific. And he said he was a gunner for a while until he shot down a plane. And then he's like, I got one. And then his ammo guy said, that was a British plane you shot down.
Shot one of our allies.
Yeah, when you did not shoot a Japanese plane, you shot a British plane. And then he told me that he was the ammo guy the next day. So
Did you get demoted at Kraken? Did anything happen, or you just moved on to a different part?
I moved on to a different attraction.
Okay,
so
where'd you go from Kraken?
Journey to Atlantis.
I like Journey to Atlantis. That's a fun ride.
So I kind of switched over, but if they need help at Kraken, I just go.
Do you want me to help fix your headphones?
Nah, it's cool. I got it.
Okay,
I mean,
all
it's
right.
fine.
You can put them on top of your head.
Well, I know.
I know. Don't make him mad. If you make him mad, his super strength kicks in. He'll rip your arms off.
The headphones gonna like rest on top of your head there.
I'm good, man. I'm good, bro. I'm good.
Look at my hand. All right.
Oh, you're good.
I'm good.
Let's do some voicemails.
Okay, all right. What's in the bag, Remy?
Okay, yeah, what is in the bag?
You guys really want to know?
No, this is
I really want to know.
kills us.
All right, so So my second job is it's a place where you guys have actually been in Melbourne, but we have a new location here in Central Florida, and we're actually right behind University and Forsyth Road.
Oh, Amscott.
Not Amscott, but Tom and Dan, and for Sam. These shirts are for you guys.
Oh, you work at Tank America now?
I am the tank commander at Tank America.
What? You've made Tom the happiest man. Hold that up again. Hold it up again. You're on camera. Hold it up. You literally, this is a Christmas miracle. Tom's the happiest boy in the town. You are now the tank commander of Tank America? Once client of Tom and Dan, Tank America, Tank America. They were a client for a good while. We love those guys.
Yeah, Corona.
Yeah. It was hard. It's hard to sell tanks. It's hard. The tank business is a tough business.
Yeah. You were like, open that. There's gonna be air in this tank.
I'm so hot from laughing right now. I'm going to explode.
So, you are the tank commander at Tank America.
I am the tank commander.
How did you get that job as a second job?
So I reached out to they had a job application on Indeed. And what I did was I just applied and had a phone interview with the people who did the interview and stuff. They're like, "How'd you hear about us?" I'm like, "Well, I heard you guys on one of my favorite radio shows." And they're like, "Which radio show?" I'm like, "Well,
Matzahs and Money."
They're like, even the lady on the phone, she goes, "Did you hear us from Real Radio?" I'm like, "Well, I'm getting that point real quick." So I'm like, "I heard you guys from Corporate Time, Tom and Dan on Real Radio 104.1."
Oh, thank you, Remy.
And then,
so you used us to grease the wheels of the former commander to make yourself a commander.
And then pretty much the same interview happened when I talked to the owner of the company.
Wow,
Mr. America.
Oh my God, how did you get
shout out to
Mr. America.
I mean, I want to give a shout out to John and the crew over at Tank America. They guys are doing a fabulous job over there.
Well, this place is amazing, super fun, man. I still got parts from the Camry we smashed glued to the wall in our bathroom.
Nice. So yeah, they during the face interview, John even asked me, he goes, "How'd you hear about us?" I'm like, "I heard you guys on Tom and Dan." He goes, "Done. Here's the paperwork. Sign it." I'm like, "Okay."
You're a commander now, son. You know what?
All right.
You could have stopped with Tom. Welcome to the team, mother effer. You're a commander now.
You want to ride a tank? Drive it.
Say no more,
and you guys
boy.
are right. They are so freaking cool to drive. I mean,
it's a rush, dude. It's amazing.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's like
I love it.
One of the craziest attractions. Sometimes, I tell people about it, they don't even believe that there's something like that. Sometimes I don't believe there's something like that. It's pretty crazy.
And when I tell my friends, they're like, "Remy, you've been busy a lot. What are you doing now?" I'm like, "Well, actually, guys, I'm a tank commander." It's like, "What the hell are you doing?" I'm like, "Yeah, I drive tanks for a living." They go, "What?" I'm like, yeah, I drive tanks for a living." So
now
I love it.
What?
See, not all heroes wear capes. dreams do come true.
So now, when we went to Tank America, like we were driving the tanks. That's part of like the experience. You
Yeah.
go there, they train
Right.
you to
Remy's
drive
going
it.
to teach the people how to drive the
So
tank.
is that what your job is?
Yeah,
as,
I'm pretty much like showing you guys, I'm just guiding you guys into our path. So I'm showing you guys, if you guys are veering a little bit to the left, I'm like, all right, go to the right a little bit, stay straight. I'm telling you guys how to actually operate the tank while on our path.
Okay.
So that's the
And he's
instructor.
doing all of this as an official representation of Tom and Dan and T&D Media.
So did they have to train you for X amount of hours before you?
Yeah.
Have you had any former tank experience, Remy?
Absolutely not.
All
So,
right. Okay.
so
Yeah.
pretty much like the first day of training, like we went there and like, okay, get in the tank. I'm like, yeah, you guys don't know I know how to operate this thing. They're like, oh, don't worry, we'll show you, but get in the tank. I'm like, all right, cool.
Which one is the tank?
I'm like, which one is it? Is that the lawnmower?
Remy, that's a bicycle.
Remy, that's a porta potty.
Don't go in there.
It's not going anywhere.
What are you doing? Don't go in there.
So when how long? Like how fast did you pick it up?
I picked it up really
Yeah.
quick.
All
I
right.
You're
mean,
like the Daryl Waltrip of tank drivers.
And then so
I don't know why I picked Daryl Waltrip.
how good would you say that you are at driving a tank? I mean, what kind
Are
of
you the
tank?
best?
Do you know what kind of tank it is?
yeah, it's a British 65 tank, and
The old
The
British
old
65.
British
British
65.
65.
What we have here is a grade A, #1 British 65.
So I mean, it's a great. This tank I have is called. I'm driving lately. It's called Sugar Daddy, and
All right.
this tank
Wait a
is
minute.
this
Is-
tank. No, I'm
Hold on a second.
Dan, I'm
It sounds
sorry.
like you're going down to district dive and maybe finding yourself a big tank to ride.
Dan, I'm serious, man. It's called Sugar Daddy. All right, so it's just a
All
nice.
right, don't beat me
it's
up,
a good,
bro.
It's a good truck, tank, man.
This tank handle is weird.
All right, now put that tank handle in your mouth. Put it in there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah,
British
Sugar Daddy.
65,
Give
Sugar
me that
Daddy.
sweet British 65.
So and then
You have single-handedly stunned my business partner. You have stunned Tom.
and how many times have you driven this tank, Remy?
Quite some time, man. I mean, every day we
No,
go
he
out-
said how many times?
so I'm only there 2 days a week over there. I'm only
Okay,
I'm
so
only
you're
there
a
from-
part-time commander.
Yeah, so
All right,
I'm there
that's
from
fair.
Fridays and Saturdays over there, and every time we go to work, we actually test drive these, like do a couple laps around the track, make sure everything's fine, everything's
So you
functional.
go first to make sure that the public isn't going to get themselves into like a sticky situation.
Right, and
Gotcha.
then we actually had our soft opening this past couple of weeks, and we had some really cool people come out. They're like, "Man, this guy is on point. He knows what the."
They're talking about you.
Yeah. This guy
Man,
knows
this
what
guy's
he's
got
doing.
the goods. This commander, this tank commander. God, this guy's like, you know what? This tank commander dressed like Austin Powers. He's kicking ass.
I mean, when you guys went there, you guys saw like how the theming is over there. Like you're.
Oh,
part
are they
like-
doing laser tag at this location?
No,
as well?
no. So it's only.
this is
it's
tanks only.
Only tanks only.
Yeah, this is laser tags here. You know, it's
Oh,
fun and all. But
Is this a new location?
Yeah.
You
we're
haven't
over-
been listening to anything he said? Are you still recovering from being stunned?
He's recovering. He's recovering.
Is it? But this is the same Tank America that you
Same
advertised.
Same Tank America. They just moved from Melbourne to here to Orlando area. So we
Where in Orlando?
Muskie Street is over by. It's right behind. It's
Old
right.
Muskie. It's on Muskie Street.
Muskogee. I'm sorry, Muskogee Street.
There it is.
Muskogee.
Muskogee.
Yeah, so we're on that street, and it's Muskogee and Forsyth. That's our
All right.
location area.
Okay.
So
And there's some woods out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was
Oh,
hoping
yeah.
it was like straight downtown. All those four-wheeler guys were back in town yesterday. I passed them. The kids that do the wheelies downtown Orlando. They all tried to run over me, and I just stopped my car and let them go around me because, you know.
They're riding the streets.
Yeah,
of
yeah,
Orlando?
they're here. They're here.
Are they here for some like event or
I
something?
don't know. From what I understand, they're going to different areas because a lot of the places they used to ride are flooded. So they've made it to different cities now and stuff because they need dry areas to do their illegal wheelies.
But from down south?
I guess.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the rumor.
That's a weird. You think?
Yeah.
Well, first, the floodwaters have receded in a lot of the areas, right? There's only anywhere near lakes and rivers now, right? I don't know.
Yeah. Voicemails. We're gonna do it. He's gonna weigh in and help us out,
All right.
and we're gonna get to the bottom of some of your questions. Here we go.
Hey, what's up, guys? Ben with a Y here. I was listening to the OG 500 show, and the guy was telling a story about a deer, and it triggered a memory that I had. Not as horrific as that guy's story, but when my son was little, he was in like 3rd grade, we did like this carnival-style birthday party for him, and there was maybe, I don't know, 10, 15 kids there and some adults, and they were all out back. There's bounce houses and stuff like that. Well, we had a dog. His name was Clarence. He weighed about 110 pounds. He was a golden lab basset hound mix, and he was just a big kind of doofy dog. So me and a friend of mine decided we were going to fill up some water balloons and go out there and start throwing them at the kids just as a joke, then have the kids take over and throw them at each other. So as we opened the sliding glass door to go out to the backyard where the party was, my big dog bolts out to the backyard. Now he's not like dangerous to kids or anything. He's kind of just a big, doofy dog. But he runs out there, and at the exact same time as he runs out there, a duck decides to fly into the backyard, and he grabs this duck midair, bang, clamps down on it. Now all these kids are standing there, and they see my dog grab this duck, and they all start screaming and hollering. So we run out there and we wrestle the big dog and try to get him away from the duck. We got him back inside, but then here's this duck who now has his neck broken, and he's just flopping around on the ground while all these kids are screaming and crying. And I had the real man get a shovel and go out there and just whang, this basically cut its head off with a shovel,
No, you
Never
didn't.
done
Hold on a second.
What?
You didn't need to do that.
I mean, I guess if
You go out there, you put it in a cardboard box, you take it away from where the scene is.
okay, yeah.
And then you back over to whatever. But you don't just walk out there, excuse me, kids, hold your ears, and just chop its head off. I mean,
Yeah. When they have the
House of Dragon style.
euthanize the horse on the track, they put a cover
A
around
shower
it.
curtain.
They put a shower
They
curtain.
put a
around.
shower curtain around it.
So
Yeah.
so the people don't have to see it.
What are some of the atrocities you've seen, Remy? Because I bet you've seen some stuff, right?
I see some serious. I
Yeah.
see some sick stuff.
Yeah, what's the
no.
sickest?
No, we shouldn't have said that. I don't even.
Yeah. I don't even know if we can tell your tamest story, right?
What? Okay, so
Oh, no, he did the woohoo.
okay, so this was my grandfather's dog, and this was up in West Virginia. I was probably 3 years old, and this.
Oh
God,
my
how do you
God.
remember that? How do you remember
This-
that?
This,
You're a tank commander, I guess.
I
you
mean, this
remember everything.
this terrified the crap out of me. The dog got a hold of a possum. I'm like,
Oh wait, you're gonna turn this into the same story that we just heard, right?
Was there a birthday party?
no,
So-
it wasn't.
Okay, so the dog got a possum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it snapped it. I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'm done. Like it just like
As a 3-year-old,
mortified
you
me.
said that. You went to your grandfather. You're like, I'm 3 and I'm done.
I'm out of here.
I'm out of here.
I'm out.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that wasn't that bad, Remy.
Yeah,
well, I
when you
mean-
said you saw some horrible things,
yeah.
in my mind, it was we're talking Antichrist. William Dafoe,
that is
his slamming his
yeah.
his
You can't even describe that.
bee with a rock. And I'm like, so I thought it was gonna be the worst I've ever heard. Like a dog getting hold of a possum is not that.
Not that bad.
Yeah,
Not that bad.
because it could have.
maybe he just prepared us for the worst and then
It
gave
probably
us the
wasn't
tame
even
one.
dead. It just it plays dead, and then it'll get up. I've seen dogs get a hold of possums,
Yeah,
and it
they
looks
will
dead,
play dead.
and
Yeah.
they'll be bleeding and stuff, but they'll get away. They're tough animals.
Let's try this one right here.
Hey, Tom, Dan, Sam. On the BDM show this week, Tom mentioned how he lets his son suck on his spicy water ice cubes. When I was a kid and probably a preteen, probably even a teenager, my cousins would always enjoy going to dinner with my grandparents because my grandmother would order a Manhattan, and we would all fight to get the cherry to suck on it and I guess get the bourbon juice off of it, or my grandmother's lipstick and cigarette backwash. But sometimes she'd order a cup of cherries if multiple grandchildren were there and dunk them in her bourbon so we could eat them. So, Tom's sons are sucking on his spicy water cubes, and me and my cousins, we were sucking on my grandmother's bourbon cherry. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Oh, jeez, that's a nightmare right there.
That was the correct reaction.
Good God, no.
Here's the thing. I never tried any of my dad's drinks because I always thought the taste of whiskey as a kid.
Yeah,
I was like, this
disgusting.
is the worst thing I've ever tasted in my life. And I can even remember taking sips of beer.
Yeah,
and
Gross.
not necessarily thinking it was gross, but just going like, well, that's an interesting flavor. And I also remember as a kid the taste of beer. I knew what it was, meaning I knew that it tasted like oatmeal or bread smells.
Yes.
As a kid,
yeah.
like I was like, this is like a grain. I think it smells like bread. This is like bread.
Yeah.
Why would anybody drink bread?
I remember
thinking that.
taking tons of sips of beer, like growing up, because there was never any water around. Like now we have water for our kids everywhere.
We didn't
like,
drink water.
We're bringing water, like their cups. Like my wife is bringing their thermos with water. Like
Yeah.
bring the water. Get some water.
I never drank water, and I never had water. If I was thirsty, I'd go to a water fountain. That's about it.
Or if we were like, on the airboat, or like there was never any, like now we always have a cooler full of treats and like
Yeah.
waters and like,
Andrea's got snacks. You bring snacks everywhere you go, Remy?
I mean, I bring snacks when I'm out in the parks. I mean, so I can.
What's your favorite snacks?
I bring like the honey mustard pretzels.
Like the Snyders of
yeah,
Hanover?
yeah.
Those are choice. Those are very tasty.
But when I was thirsty, my dad used to be like, "Here, take a sip of this," and then drink his Bud Regular, and it was always disgusting to me. But it would wet my mouth, and then it would make me not ask for water anymore because I knew I was getting more of that. So I was like, well, I guess I'll just, you could last a long time without water.
I don't want anybody to think that there was ever anything abusive. I mean, when you think about me, the way I talk about my parents, I loved them more than anything, and they never did anything wrong. But I will say that I can remember my mom, and I can remember telling them I'm thirsty, and I can remember my dad saying, "Yeah, we have a half an hour till we get home. You're just gonna have to be."
Yeah.
And I
Of
remember
course.
that being a thing.
It was,
and it was
is.
just like, "Nah, you're good. We'll be home in 30 minutes." I'm not. And then he would say this. He would say, "I am not stopping. I'm not going to stop."
No,
I think some people would think that's abuse, though. There
No.
are people that think that that's abuse.
Well, they're ridiculous because abuse is abuse. That is parents realizing, yes, you can go half an hour without water or whatever is no big deal.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
Right.
But we've gone too far the
We
other way
have.
where I think we're making a
Baby water and
a weaker generation.
Yeah.
And I it's like, and it's not even my fault. I'm like, well, this is what they say to do.
Maybe not even weaker, but maybe they just more complaining. I don't know.
Well, if they have water if you can't go without water for 2 hours, then you're weak, right?
I
You're
think
weaker.
I can remember going to, not to pile on, but I can remember going to soccer practice. And soccer practice out at Skydive to Land, out there where the Skydive to Land area is.
Yeah.
That's where all my practices were. But when we'd go out there, I can remember, like, it was my job to fill up my... Remember those green Gatorade water bottles?
Yeah.
Yeah, the green ones. I had like one of those, and it was the only time, though, soccer practice was the only time that I got to make scoop Gatorade. Did you have scoop Gatorade, where it was the powder?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like we had the powder, but I was only allowed to have it at soccer. So I was excited about mixing it up and making me a Gatorade. I remember I forgot it. And I can remember, like thinking about it now, I can remember there was nothing you could do. You just find another mom and she'd say, yeah, you could share a little bit of Casey's water, but, you couldn't text. You had no way to tell your mom you needed water. You just have to tough it out.
And it wasn't even a cognizant thing that parents were doing because they were doing.
We weren't
it.
pressured to carry water.
But I'm saying, like, even with like we joke around about things have gotten softer and softer, but like our parents, they were doing softer things than their parents.
Correct.
See, their parents, like my grandfather in World War II. He didn't do anything.
Yeah, and
like,
my mom's mom worked in a factory, like when she was like very young.
Yeah, he didn't coddle
Yeah,
to like
no.
so
The factory worker.
So to our parents, they were doing the softer version of their growing. You know what I'm saying? So we're just doing the same thing now. We're doing the softer version of how we grew up, right?
Yeah.
When does it turn back doing the harder?
I don't know if it ever does.
Well, it's got to reach some point where you can't go any softer, right? You can't.
I don't know.
You can't. I mean, every single like, have some water. You haven't had it in 1 minute.
Well, I would say when your brain outpowers your physical use, when everything just becomes brain power and there's really
all
no
internet.
need for this.
It's all-
like sometimes you get those weirdos that talk about their body as like a vessel. They're like, this is just the vessel. My mind will go on. Those weirdos. Like there are some people that think, yeah, we'll just get to a point where we'll become ultimate soft because nothing will be physically real. Everything will be in our mind's eye.
Or our kids will grow up in the hard version of the internet where they're like, oh man, they'll tell their kids like, oh, you don't know how hard we had it in 2025.
Yeah.
Like things were crazy, everybody was fighting.
The screens weren't in your eyes.
Yeah, and so like it'll be that, right?
Yeah.
Our kids will just have the hard version of living on the internet.
I
It's
guess.
because it's the beginning, right?
Yeah. Let's try this one.
So just a random thought on a Friday. I know everyone likes their pain pills, but has anyone else got surgery and the doctor just cut the nerve around the area and told you it would be 6 months roughly for the nerve to grow back, and therefore you get no pain pills? Anyways, have a good Friday. Peace.
He's like, as my friend in the back there disposes of a body. It sounded like 2 gunshots and he started hacking the legs off. Yeah, let's talk about that. Yeah, that second injection I got, I mean, it's working, but it's not. It's nothing. It's not great. I'm going to have to do something else. I'm going to have to, like, do Pilates or some sort of yoga stretching or some garbage like that.
You ever done pain pills, Remy?
I mean, I never had surgery, so that's a no.
Well,
I thought that was going to be I've never had surgery, so that's a yes. I want them right now.
That does not answer my question. There's plenty of Floridians that have never had surgery and have been on pain pills. And in fact, in 2003, if you went to a doctor for any
pills everywhere.
they'll give you pain pills for like, you bruised your knee, pain pills. They used to hand them out like candy.
Yeah.
Hence why we had such a problem and everybody died.
I had painkillers when I broke my wrist when I was playing basketball. So I mean,
What's your position?
I was a point guard.
Point guard.
And for basketball?
Yeah, for basketball. Yeah.
And how old were you?
16.
Okay, so it was a high school deal?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, he's the Kyrie Irving of Orlando. Everyone says he's very anti-Semitic.
So I feel like they don't hand out pain pills at all anymore because of that.
Look, I've had a couple days where I would have been better here if I could just get the thing to stop hurting me. And so I finally reached a point where I understand when people are talking about how bad it is. Like our friend Diceman's got, some back issues he's dealing with. Like it's terrible. I'm dealing with mine the best that I can. We'll figure it out. But yeah,
Well, can it be, like, does it have to be all or nothing? Like, I understand in 2003, we were handing them out for anything, and there was a pain clinic on every corner, and then there was a line of addicts, and, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what we're trying to clean up, but now nothing?
Well,
like, can it be, like, you give it to people that you've shown to, like, have you done pain pills a couple times and you didn't get addicted? All right, you can have some. You know what I'm saying?
I'll give you another one.
Like,
I
take
went
a
this
test.
morning. I went this morning to my doctor to do a follow-up because I changed my anxiety medication, right? And you got to, like, wean yourself off of it and then, put yourself on gradually the new stuff. So she's been checking me for that. So I came in this morning to meet with her. I also had a follow-up to say that, sometimes lately in the last, let's say, month or so, I've had some instances where I get obsessed on something. I can't pull myself off of it, and I get a little twisted. You've seen a few of them.
Yeah.
So you can attest. So I've talked to Andrea about it, and Andrea's like, well, maybe talk to her about getting you some Xanax, so that you can use when you get a little twisted up. She wouldn't give it to me. It's like these things have been so abused by people that now, even if it would be useful to you,
and you wouldn't abuse it.
They're not on the table now.
Yeah.
So she signed me up for something else that's like a little bit lower dosage that's not even in the same category because so many people are taking the Xanax with the alcohol and blowing their minds and just like killing themselves that now it's been overprescribed. Adderall's everything's overprescribed.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So now when you need stuff, you can't get it.
I know.
So it's a mess.
I was freaking out because I needed my Adderall, and then they give it out too easily, so it's a damn shortage of it.
Right.
There should be some sort of a test, or like if you never went to rehab, or you could prove to them you're not an addict.
I think so. Or have people vouch for you or in some way. Like I have three signatures.
Yeah, like your wife.
Your business partner and her wife. Like the closest people to you.
Yeah,
they can interview my daughter for an hour. Have you ever seen Daddy asking about his white crosses? I don't know. Like, have you ever seen his Daddy pace a lot? Does he go to the Millennium Mall and take pills and walk around and drink coffee all day?
Like when you get what is that thing when you you fly all the time, you get like a
we had it
status
when we were doing that heavy year. We had global entry.
Yeah, global entry. My wife has it. And
Yeah,
swears by
it's
it as
dope.
a faster or whatever.
It's the best.
But to get global entry, you have to apply for it, and they have to
You
make
have to
sure
go to the
you're not
government and
a
meet with a
terrorist.
guy. Yeah.
Like you should be able to apply to get pain pills and like scheduled drugs that they don't give out anymore. And if you pass a certain
just like a gun.
credentials, like you're like you prove you're not an addict. You prove you can handle it. You won't get addicted. Like you go, you interview some people, and then they're like give you a stamp, and you're like, all right, you can give this guy pain pills and Xanax. He's fine.
Because I can make an argument.
Because you want it.
Well, but
I
listen,
want it.
Listen, I'll tell you right now, we're just being logical. The week before you left to go to Hawaii was a tough week, right?
Yeah.
If I'd been able to manage my pain a little better during that week, I think we would have had a better week. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then if you ever, like, if they ever see you, selling your stuff away or like,
then you give me one warning. I
no,
want one warning.
They revoke your pain pill card and you'll never get it again. If you go back to the doctor and then you're like, ask for a refill and the doctor's like, wait a minute, like this should have been healed, and then you get revoked.
Wait a minute, didn't I see you last week?
No. Like if you mess it up, you get revoked. But all or nothing is ridiculous.
Let's do one more and then take a break.
Hey guys, I'm watching the YouTube stream and you guys are talking about Pez, and I live up here in New York, and I have to go to a storage facility up in Connecticut, in a town called Orange, Connecticut, and it's like right next door to the Pez factory. So I've been a few times. They have a little museum in the front, and originally Pez was made as an anti-smoking alternative. So in the 20s, some company, it was like, well, people like carrying lighters around, so what if we made a device that was the size of a lighter, but instead of, lighting your cigarette, it would dispense a mint. And so the original ones were peppermint, and I think, if I remember correctly, one of the other flavors was chlorophyll. So those were like the two flavors, and so it was for adults. But then somewhere along the line, in the 50s or 60s, they started turning the dispensers into images of Santa Claus and Mickey Mouse, and then they started introducing other flavors. But I think it's still originally, or like primarily, was meant as a smoking alternative, so that's probably why it doesn't taste very good. Similarly, you're talking about dispensers and why Tic Tacs don't have a dispenser. Well,
this guy knows everything about dispensing. He's
Holy
Mr.
crap.
I know. Hold on, he continues.
you should look up Pakistan cardamom silver pearls. My girlfriend is from Pakistan, and she showed me these. Over there, instead of breath mints, they eat these things called silver pearls. They're little cardamom seeds dipped in real silver, and it comes in this like credit card sized dispenser, and you just click a button and it dispenses one out, and you pop that in and you just let that sit under your tongue. The silver kills the bacteria in your mouth, and the cardamom gives you like a nice earthy flavor after that. I'm not that into them, but I think the dispenser's really cool. So look into it.
Is it like colloidal silver, that stuff that people, they take to not get sick and then it eventually turns their mouth and their whole body blue?
Yeah, I have
You know
no
what I'm talking
idea.
about?
Yeah, no
Colloidal
clue.
silver? I know you don't have a clue, Remy. I didn't ask you. I didn't ask you, man.
This is beyond Tank Commander.
You're just sitting over there counter ammo. I'm talking to the big boys. But no, he sent a picture of the stuff, and yeah, and when he says real silver, how can it be? I mean, it's undigestible, right?
No, but
Or
like,
do you
you said that the people take silver and like
But
pills,
it's
and things.
colloidal silver, which
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know
yeah.
the difference between silver and colloidal silver. I don't even know what that means.
Me neither.
Remy, do you know what that means? I was wrong. I should have yelled. I yelled at you.
I don't know.
I yelled at
I
you.
mean, what the heck does silver taste like? I mean, that's what I want to know. What the? I mean,
that's a good reaction.
does it really work?
Ultimate yes and.
Yeah.
Ultimate yes and.
So Remy, you still doing your podcast?
Yeah, I'm still doing it, man. We just celebrated 3 years on Remy's Roundtable.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Do you have anything planned for the 3-year anniversary, or did it pass?
If I pass, we've already recorded it, so it's up there on Spotify and all over podcasting platforms.
How's the
well.
business going?
Good.
You
good.
got
some sponsors.
I gave you the mixing console.
It's working. It's
good.
working great.
Awesome. That makes
great.
me very happy. It's the same one we have here at the studio, just a little bit smaller.
Have your co-hosts started to mutiny?
Yeah.
Nah,
Wasn't there a problem last time with your because your wife's on the show now, right?
Yeah, but he's good. He came on and we're talking and stuff, so he's back. He's back and ready to go.
Oh,
Just start
the other
recording,
guy.
so we're good.
What was his name?
Lewis.
Lewis. Yes,
yeah,
that's
Lewis.
Lewis.
Yeah.
I like Lewis.
So he's good.
Oh yeah, he's good. Yeah.
I've got some
So-
extra equipment out there that Seth Petrozelli dropped by. Feel free to rummage through it. Anything you find, completely on the house.
All right.
Now just remember this, Lewis. Oh, Lewis.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm Lewis
I like
today. Yay.
Remy, that if you don't pay Lewis for a long enough period of time, they'll hold resentment against
They
you.
very much will. Yeah.
And then
Eventually they'll walk out.
And then they'll be playing pranks on you, like inviting guests while they're out.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Dan, you did mention about sponsors. I just picked up an actual traveling agency sponsor for the round table.
Ahoy Cruises.
Yeah. So this group is awesome. Reach out to Nick. His company's called Sandpiper Vacations.
Oh, Sandpiper Vacations. There you
All
go. Why don't you-
And,
how come we don't have a vacation?
We got Ahoy.
No, but he's got Sandpiper Vacations.
And they fly you around in a small Sandpiper plane.
I haven't been on vacation in a while, man. So.
I assumed you knew something about.
He wanted you to. Never mind.
I assumed you knew something about the sponsor.
It's fine.
Why
Just call Nick. Just call Nick.
All right, Remy. It's Remy's Round Table.
Yep. On Spotify is where you like to push people, right?
Yeah, we're on Spotify, but we're also on all over the podcasting, all other podcasting platforms.
There you go.
We're on social media, and
What's your social?
Just Remy's Roundtable. We're on
At Remy's Roundtable?
Yep, at Remy's Roundtable. We're also on Twitch, twitch.tv/Remy's Roundtable. So I'm on Twitch every once in a while playing video games. So, yeah. Do
you stream on Twitch?
I do stream on Twitch.
Do you do a hot tub stream?
Nope.
You ever watch the hot tub streams?
Every once in a while, yeah.
Yeah, that's an honest man right there. That's an honest man right there.
Remember that guy that took the tank and started destroying the town?
That was me.
No. Remember that?
I do remember
There's
that.
a documentary about it.
I do remember
And the
that.
police had to shot it to the hole.
Yeah.
Like they had to stop
It gets
him.
tragic at one point.
Yeah. I'm just saying, no one learned our lesson.
All right.
We'll be right back.
Awesome. Good job, buddy.
That was
Thank you.
awesome.
We taking lunch?
Yeah, we're
Guys, we'll be back after lunch.